In today's digital whirlwind, deep, thoughtful conversations often feel like whispers in a hurricane. Short clips, flashy headlines, and instant reactions dominate our screens. Genuine reflection takes time most viewers aren't willing to invest when a 10-second outrage clip delivers an immediate rush of emotion. As a result, platforms reward bite-sized drama over substance, and thoughtful voices get drowned out by the roar of sensationalism. Algorithms are built to maximize clicks and shares. They promote content that sparks the strongest reactions, outrage, shock, or laughter, because those emotions translate into likes, comments, and endless scrolling. Nuance, context, and slow burn ideas simply don't register as quickly in the engagement metrics. The louder and simpler the message, the faster it spreads. This dynamic fosters echo chambers, where we're fed only the content that aligns with our existing views. When every recommendation reinforces what we already believe, it becomes harder to entertain new ideas or challenge our assumptions. Before long, any perspective that demands patience and critical thinking is dismissed as too complicated or too niche. But this pattern isn't confined to social media. It starts in our earliest institutions. Schools, for all their talk of fostering curiosity, often reward rote memorization and compliance over independent inquiry. Question askers get labeled distracted, while those who follow the syllabus to the letter climb the grades ladder. In the corporate world, fitting in with the company culture and maintaining the status quo often trumps genuine innovation. And in politics, bold truth-telling rarely wins votes when it clashes with what people want to hear. History shows us that society frequently ostracizes its most original thinkers, only to lionize them later. When an idea feels too far ahead of its time, it's seen as a threat rather than a gift. Once the risk has passed and the novelty has become safe, we celebrate these visionaries. But during their lifetimes, they often endure misunderstanding, ridicule, or worse. Consider Socrates, who wandered the streets of Athens asking probing questions that upended accepted wisdom. Instead of being hailed a hero of inquiry, he was charged with corrupting youth and impiety, and ultimately chose death over silence. His legacy lives on in the spirit of critical thinking, yet his own society rejected him for daring to challenge its foundations. Fast forward to Renaissance Italy, where Galileo peered through his telescope and discovered that Earth orbited the Sun. His revelations threatened centuries of religious authority, and he spent his final years under house arrest. Today we revere him as a pillar of modern science, but in his own era he was branded a heretic for daring to speak truth to power. Jump ahead to 19th century Germany, and you'll find Friedrich Nietzsche, whose critique of morality and declaration that God is dead scandalized polite society. His writings were dismissed as madness and largely ignored, until later generations found in his work the roots of existentialism, psychology, and modern literary theory. At the turn of the 20th century, Nikola Tesla envisioned a world powered by free, wireless energy. His ideas were seen as fanciful at best and dangerous at worst by industrial magnates who profited from conventional power systems. He died virtually penniless, his inventions overshadowed by rivals. Now his name is synonymous with innovation itself. During World War II, Alan Turing cracked the Enigma code and laid the groundwork for computing and artificial intelligence. Yet, his homosexuality led to criminal prosecution and chemical castration. He took his own life at 41. Decades later, he's celebrated worldwide for his genius and honored as a war hero. And in ancient Alexandria, Hypatia, a mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher, taught rational inquiry to students of all backgrounds. Her commitment to science and learning enraged religious zealots who murdered her in 415 AD. Today, she stands as a symbol of intellectual courage and the fight for knowledge. What can today's deep thinkers learn from these stories? First, recognize that resistance is part of the journey. If your ideas unsettle the status quo, you're on the right track. Second, find your tribe. Seek out fellow seekers who appreciate complexity and welcome challenge. Quality of engagement matters more than quantity of followers. Third, master the art of clarity. Even the most profound insight loses its power if it's wrapped in jargon or delivered without context. Einstein famously said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Practice distilling your ideas into accessible narratives without diluting their depth. Finally, be patient. History's greatest breakthroughs rarely happen overnight. Plant seeds of thought, nurture them with evidence and empathy, and trust that true understanding unfolds over time. Social media may favor the flashy soundbite, but lasting change emerges from sustained dialogue. If you've ever felt sidelined for your curiosity or criticized for asking hard questions, know you're in illustrious company. The world needs deep thinkers to push boundaries and expand our collective vision. So keep questioning, keep exploring, and when you're ready, share your insights with those who are ready to listen. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's the most challenging question you've ever posed? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more explorations into the minds that have reshaped history. We're just beginning the conversation.